Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Tyler.
And today we talk about the X-Men.
Man, I love that song.
Brings me back, man.
Honestly, it's probably one of my 90s favorites kids' cartoons theme songs. Actually, they're all good. That, Spider-Man, Batman, I love them all.
Unfortunately, they can't all be winners on the big screen. Only in the animated.
That's true. I'd have that X-Men theme song, the theme song to my life. If I could wake up every day and I hear that, I'd be so hyped to start my day.
Don't you have a smartphone? You
Besides
can make
the
that
point,
happen.
Sinners,
That
if you haven't
technology
noticed,
exists.
We're ignoring you. We're going to talk about the newest addition to Fox's only hit superhero franchise, X-Men Apocalypse, out in theaters now. We saw it. Spoilers? Are we gonna do spoilers?
Yeah,
I say
might as well.
From here on out, be warned. Spoilers lie ahead.
They're coming.
They're coming.
For
Booby
all
trap
three
with
movies.
Spoilers.
For First Class,
Right. This
Days
is-
of Future Past, and X-Men Apocalypse.
If I can take this one, the trilogy as a whole, what did you guys think? Did you like it better than the original trilogy? Did you not? The whole trilogy as a whole. Did you?
As a whole,
thumbs
yeah.
up.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
I definitely put it up above the
And
first
maybe
three.
that wouldn't be
yeah.
the case if X-Men 3 didn't suck so much ass.
Yeah.
It ruined everything the first two had going for it.
I think even if the first trilogy would have ended on a somewhat strong note, like even just as strong as the first two, I still think this one would be a little bit better.
Right. This one, overall, they had, I think, deeper, a little slightly more complex storylines. Definitely, I think the scripts overall were a little bit better.
Oh, definitely better written. All of them.
More visually interesting, I guess.
Right. You look at the first X-Men and you're like, huh. Then you watch Apocalypse and you can just tell. It's not like we were talking about, you can see almost the time period in which they were made.
They've definitely
Right
come a
before
long
two-
way. Yeah.
They have.
They're more structured this time around. Obviously, going ahead with like the cinematic universe, taking hold, so they were more structured. They went in with a game plan. They didn't just, nitpick these and come up with random stories, and that was what was awesome.
Well, this is a 17-year franchise. 6 installments of X-Men, 3 spin-offs, 2 Wolverines, 1 Deadpool, another Wolverine on the way. We got Gambit. We got a whole
TV series, live
plethora
action.
of X-Men stuff coming.
New Mutants,
Right.
X-Force. It's gonna be good. X-Men aren't going anywhere.
Well, I really don't like how they kind of just wrote out everything that happened in the first 3 series with
With Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
You are not okay with that?
I'm okay
Considering
with
number
it.
3 sucked, so they obliterated that from their timeline. I was like, thank you, God. I just felt bad for the actors in it.
I'm okay with it. It just seems a little silly. Like some of the things that you go through with Jean Grey in the first X-Men, you kind of see in Apocalypse. So like the timelines are totally different. Like Jean is way more powerful in the new 3 than she was in the first 3. Well, at least more powerful faster, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we've
You know
done
what I
that
mean?
a lot.
Like how does changing the timeline make it to where she's that much more powerful, that much faster?
I think it also though became X-Men 1 and 2 well received, and then there was X3 and the Wolverine both bombed, and then I think it sort of became we're batting 50-50 right now. Like we need to step up our game. How do we do that? And the best way to do is to keep going and sort of soft reboot it. This happens sort of, but we are erasing that,
Yeah.
setting our own new things in motion here. So I get it. It
Not-
was weird.
Not as not just let's fix this timeline problem. It was also we got to ante it up and give them something that we couldn't give them the first time around. Now that we know where we went wrong.
Days of Future Past, this reboot thing should have happened in the first movie, and then you could have set that whole trilogy in motion. And instead, they decided to do it as the middle of this franchise. These 3.
Right.
And so it's and even with Apocalypse, it didn't answer all those questions I had at the end of Days of Future Past.
Well, what questions did you have?
The big one, obviously, just a victim of lazy script writing, I guess, was at the end of Days of Future Past, Wolverine is pulled from the River Lake thing, and by Colonel Stryker, who is Mystique in disguise. You see the eyes, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're like, okay, this is going to be interesting. What is she going to do with Wolverine? And then in Apocalypse, nope, it's very much Colonel Stryker who who has Wolverine, who has his weapon, is Weapon X, has his metal claws, doesn't explain. I mean, it's been 10 years. Are we to assume that, like, that happened? What happened with Mystique? Like, why did she just hand him over to Stryker? How did he gain control of him again?
And I think on everyone else's mind too. It doesn't tie up all the loose ends from Days of Future Past, and so I think fans are like, "Oh my god, come on!"
Yeah,
like,
they kind of backed themselves into a corner, rode themselves into a corner.
The biggest one is definitely the Wolverine. Like,
yeah, to me, that's really
how
the
did
big
he
one,
get in the real Stryker's hands? But Mystique and him don't see eye to eye. Like, they barely talk.
Yeah,
but she doesn't recognize him. It's, I don't know. Now, and I feel like it's just another question unanswered.
Yeah,
We'll have to wait till the end of the next trilogy to find that question out.
Are they making another trilogy?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there's
next
like a
movie,
New
for
Mutants
sure.
movie on the way. I think written and directed by a guy named Josh Boone. There's an X-Force movie in talks.
What's X-Force?
To be honest, I really don't know much
spin-off
about it.
team.
I believe it is what will continue from this X-Men franchise. New Mutants is like a spin-off. X-Force is what will be going forward. I have thought, is how I thought I had understood it.
Now, did you guys like Apocalypse, the villain itself? I mean, let's just talk about his look first off.
Ooh,
I was led to believe. I saw the first image, and I thought instantly what everyone else in the world thought. The hell is Ivan Ooze doing in this?
yeah.
This X-Men movie.
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, Ivan Ooze was the bad guy in the first theatrical Power Rangers movie. Just throwing that one out there. Forget I said anything.
Don't worry about seeing it, sinners. It's forgettable.
I feel like I was led to believe it was going to be more comic book accurate. Like, I wanted the blue, and
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, maybe they went back after that image released and did some color alteration, because I think he was slightly more blue than what we saw.
I know there was a lot of backlash. It wasn't just his look. A lot of people complained about his voice, which Bryan Singer addressed wrote off as something like, well, when it came out, I hadn't done the digital alteration yet, but it's coming. And it was like, well, that's one problem. Let's talk about that look, dude.
See, I thought it looked fine, but I don't know what he looks like in the comics.
I guess he's a little more, I don't know, not machine looking, but...
Now, obviously in the comic book medium, you can draw this guy up however you please, but I was thinking someone maybe slightly bigger. The voice, I thought, should be a little bit more menacing. Like, and yeah, he was like Apocalypse, but he, to me, didn't... God, this is a Marvel villain problem that I'm going to go down this road again.
Yeah, but it's
he
not the
didn't-
same Marvel.
No, but it is Marvel. You have this almighty Apocalypse guy who's killing humans with, like, the snap of his finger in the movie. Couldn't do any of that to the mutants. Why do you even need 4 horsemen?
Yeah, he anyone he looked at, he could just kind of turn into dust.
Morph them into the wall or the ground, turn them into dust, like anything and everything.
Yeah.
He
has
should
all
have
this
looked. He
power.
should have looked way cooler.
Yeah, right? This is Apocalypse is the Thanos of the X-Men universe, so to speak.
And now he's
the
dead.
dark side.
Oh,
Yeah, and then they
now he's
just...
dead.
The dark side Thanos of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And they just kind of were like, well, sort of. Ivan Ooze.
I don't know. Apocalypse overall, I thought was good. It's right under Days of Future Past and X-Men 2 for me. We're slightly above X-Men First Class, but there were substantial problems in this one that
I agree.
Well, for one, also with the villain problem, like Angel, what was up, dude? Like, he didn't even.
Oh, all of them. All 3 horsemen, aside from Magneto. Storm, Angel, and Psylocke combined probably had 30 lines.
Yeah,
And I mean, that's probably being generous.
Storm was definitely the forefront of the 3 newbies. And I liked Psylocke for as little lines as she had. Probably, I don't know, her and that other guy probably had the same, 10 total. And I liked her, and I'm glad she lived. Hopefully we see her in something else, because I thought she had a cool power. But Angel just had, like, I was not into Angel at all this movie.
I wish Storm would have had a bigger part.
I do too.
Definitely.
I like the new chick. She looks cool. The Mohawk looked awesome.
Yeah, props.
Better than
Major
Angel's, who I think got it because he thought Storm looked cool. I didn't really get... And then he's the only one that got, like, some, like, ancient tribal tattoo on his face from Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I was like, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, man. You need to chill
He really
out.
was, like, giving everybody, like, characteristics, and he's like, "Hey, Storm, I'm gonna change your hair for whatever color, for whatever reason."
Yeah, I'm gonna make you look old.
Yeah, and then Angel, who shaves his head for no reason, they don't even address it, but he's like, "Yeah, the mohawk looks cool, so I'm gonna do it too, but it's not gonna change colors."
Why are there 2 angel mutants?
When I saw First Class, I thought that too, and I hated that. I hated that Zoe Kravitz's character with little dragonfly butterfly wings was...
Pixie? Isn't that her name?
In the movie, they call her Angel.
Yeah, they called her.
Oh,
Angel.
they called her Angel?
And Magneto dresses her as Angel in Days of Future Past.
Oh,
when he's
Angel Dust was what it was.
No, Angel Dust.
No, it
is
was
Gina,
Angel.
Gina
She said, "My name
Serrano
is
from
Angel."
Deadpool.
Oh, she does say it flat out.
And then she
Yeah.
like spits some fire
Like I said,
at the
Magneto's
statue.
like,
or something.
Azazel, Angel, they died while you and Hank sat in the mansion.
So who's
and-
Azazel? Is that? Sorry to
in
get
the
off
comics,
topic.
that is Nightcrawler's dad. in the
That's what I
comics.
thought,
Red
and that's so
teleport.
awesome.
Like him and
anything
Mystique,
to do,
like,
no way.
yeah, in the comics.
comics.
Yeah. But
That's where Nightcrawler comes
see,
from.
and that's also one of the things in this franchise. Yeah, you righted a lot of wrongs, but damn, you just opened up a lot more.
They don't say that he's not his son, though.
No, but Mystique's not like, hey, Nightcrawler.
Brian
Hey,
Singer
Lost
took his
Son.
usual like creative liberties and was just like,
Yeah.
this crowd will look cool, forget
It's a
the details.
It's a combination of, okay, we have the first movie in a new franchise. We got to throw some people. We got to throw some fan favorites, and then some people in there just to make it look cool. We can't use Nightcrawler.
Buff
so
up
who
the
do we
supporting
use?
cast.
His fucking dad.
Yeah, some of the powers
That we're not going to address is his
seemed
dad.
kind of lackluster, especially in like First Class. Like Angel, who cares? You got little pixie wings and you can spit some kind of fire. How are you going to hold up against everyone else? You are the weakest by far.
Yeah.
Now you're running with the bad guys like you're like so tough? No.
Tonally, First Class does not measure up to like action and I can't.
You think it's weaker in tone than what it should
Yeah,
have been?
it's not as heavy, I guess.
Yeah, it's not
But
as action packed.
The script, First Class script is the best there is. Because Singer's all about like dropping one-liners and some funny humor here. While
Character poster
Matthew
poses.
Vaughn doesn't throw it in your face and throw like over-the-top one-liners. Like the script was better. Very well put together. But like I said, that's why it's so high up for me. But it's not because of its.
First Class was also like a combobulation of like other things. Like it was also the X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Magneto was like merged into there. So somebody like Andrew Fuller or something got like writing credits or a story credit. And Bryan Singer got the story on that too, but I guess he was busy filming Jack the Giant Slayer or something. Because I guess he was going to direct.
Yeah, he produced it.
Yeah. So he backed out, produced it. Did you like First Class?
I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I didn't like necessarily the power set that was chosen. Like I think Angel was pretty useless, and then who was it that died? Was it the
Darwin?
guy? Yeah, Darwin. He seemed pretty cool, and you kill him off. Get rid of Angel. No one needs her.
True. You kill one of the more cooler guys, like the cooler Mystique.
Yeah, it seems like they could have
And,
they could have done a lot of things with him, and they just roast him right off the bat, and then they kept Cyclops' brother. What's his name? Havoc.
Yeah.
And he was okay. I mean, I thought it was.
I felt like he got gypped in this trilogy. Yeah, First Class,
did.
he was prominent. Days of Future Past, he got so screwed on screen time. He's one of the ones I'm like, no, he's what I want to see. I want to see a Sentinel fight him, like. And then in the third one, yeah, they brought him back. And then he's like fuel to the fire for Cyclops' story arc in this movie.
Yeah.
And Cyclops was awesome in this movie. Cyclops is like what James Marsden should have had the chance to be. And I liked James Marsden. He had the badass Cyclops, like older.
Yeah,
appeal
the
to him.
like seasoned Cyclops.
But
yeah.
Ty Sheridan as Cyclops in X-Men Apocalypse, like he came at it hard, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he did well. I'm very much looking forward to him moving on with this franchise, leading this team.
Most of the young newbies did really well in this.
Well, I really like Cyclops, and that's saying a lot because I've never liked Cyclops.
He's my
I feel
favorite.
the same about Cyclops that I feel about Superman. Not that he's got just too much powers, but I don't like the Boy Scout superhero, the
Right.
goody two shoes, and I don't really like the love triangle between Jean Grey and Wolverine and him.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad they kind of got rid of that in this new franchise.
Well, they kind of hinted at it. I hope that's the last we see of him. You know what I'm talking about?
I thought that was more of just like a one-line pun to get it because he's on the team in the future.
Yeah, it was probably
Yeah?
well, yeah. I
Shoulder
mean, it was a
nod?
line from his character that makes sense and
Yeah.
served as like your pun.
Yeah,
Or
overall,
your
I liked it.
Homage.
And I
Yeah.
kind of like the idea that Gene was able to bring back, I say memories, but I guess really it's more just like a name. I don't know. To me, that was like I don't know. Seemed cool to me. It's a cool way to bring that out instead of him just waking up being like, I know my name is Logan. That's all I know. That took everything from me except my name.
I thought it was weird that for a girl who was ready to like shit on Cyclops, like when she bumped into him, like she finds Wolverine who's killed everybody in the thing, and she's like, "No, it's okay. Let me help you out here."
Let me risk my life and try touching this.
Like
animal.
the blind
Like,
kid, she's like, "Move it, dork," and then like Hugh Jackman comes on, she's suddenly like, "Oh yeah, well let me just tap into your memory for you here. Let me help you out, Sansa."
She's like started feeling his pecs, and Cyclops like, "What the hell are you doing?" She's, "Oh, sorry, This is how I
She's
read
like,
minds.
"If you looked more like him, we could do
She's like,
this."
sometimes I have to feel the biceps and the calves and glutes
We'll
to
find
really
you.
understand the man's, ego and his pride. Look, Cyclops, get the hell out of here, please. Thanks.
He was definitely he's my favorite X-Men, so I was glad to see that he finally did something worth a shit, unlike James Marsden, who was boring to all hell. I loved him. I thought he was great.
James
in
Marsden's
the attitude.
coolest moment when he was screaming at Alkali Lake in the third one before he died.
Yeah.
When he just rips off the glass and starts screaming. That's his coolest moment.
Other than that, it's
It
just
is-
you're a dick. It's his little line to Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, good job, nod. Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
He really just didn't do much. Cool
Yeah, that
stuff.
wasn't. I didn't like that part at all.
Oh, I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know.
I
Definitely-
thought it was a little cheesy. I don't know,
Definitely
I think it
Bryan
could have been better.
Singer-ish. Yeah, but I thought it was.
So
Of
you
all
say Cyclops is your favorite?
Him and Wolverine would be my favorite X-Men. Yeah.
That's so
Are you-
typical of you.
First off, are you on the Wolverine bandwagon here? Like every little kid is like, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Wolverine. Are you
Wolverine's cool, but he's definitely not my favorite
okay?
mutant.
All right.
Who's your favorite?
Yeah, I'll be one of those guys. He's towards the top.
Well,
That
who
was-
is your favorite though?
Gambit.
Okay,
Also Colossus and Nightcrawler are pretty. Simple.
I'm definitely
But I love
Nightcrawler.
Cyclops
Yeah.
has risen since the movies have come out. Like I don't know, both Cyclopses have been except that dork in X-Men Origins, not that Cyclops.
They did have a Cyclops in there. He
Which
sucked.
totally just fucked up the timeline like even more.
I don't even want to talk about that film.
Which one?
Good.
X-Men
We're not gonna.
Origins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Film.
Hugh Jackman doesn't even talk about that film.
For you sinners out there, real quick, round table, out of 10, X-Men Origins Wolverine, go. I'm gonna say like 6.5.
X-Men Origins?
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
man.
6, maybe
Oh,
6.
You're still being generous, dude.
Wow.
It's
okay, you
it's
got
been
it.
a long time since I've seen it. I don't think I can accurately give.
Tyler agrees with
a
me on
rating.
6. Nick, what's
Not
your...
that it had some moments and some things that I was like, okay, cool.
It
but
did.
It was just its cons sunk it on a boat of
so
pros.
far outweigh the pros.
Yeah, so if 5 is okay on a scale of 10, then that's where it sits at a 5.
It's weird that everyone can universally hate a movie who's the main character.
Who is everyone's favorite character?
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Of another franchise.
Yeah, he can
Sure.
still do X-Men movies, and he's even getting a Wolverine movie.
Is that too-
People still love him, even though they hated the movie that was specifically for him. And he is still Wolverine. He is. How many movies has he been in now?
He holds the record.
He's been in like
But Robert Downey Jr. is chasing it, but he holds the record.
Because after his Wolverine movie, that'll be 9, right?
6 X-Men's, 2 Wolverine movies. Yeah, so 8 right now. He's about to be on his 9th one,
And that's going to be his last one, I think.
presumably.
that's what they say.
I don't know. I still think there's slight hope to even have a slight nod to a Deadpool movie. And maybe because
Yeah.
him and Ryan have that, like, oh, we're the badasses of all these X-Men here. Like, we need to show up, and I don't know.
I think they'd have some pretty good chemistry.
Yeah.
They
even if
both
it's-
want it to happen. It just kind of comes down to like
So they both
fourth wall
stated.
breaking character, not a fourth wall breaking character. How do we do
Yeah.
this?
Well,
How
they
do they
could
interact?
break the wall with Deadpool and have Hugh Jackman not even notice. You
I
know
think
what
it's
I mean?
one of those like you have to have them. Like he would
Well,
always like
Colossus and them don't. And Deadpool, they don't. I mean, they don't.
they don't say anything about that.
You saw Deadpool, right?
Well, I did, but it's been a while.
No,
Well-
they don't. Colossus doesn't like look at the screen with you and be like, "Who are you talking to, Deadpool?"
Yeah, well, they could totally pull a little bit where, like, Deadpool talks to the screen and Wolverine's like, what the fuck are you doing? We're busy right now. We're in the middle of a fight. Who are you talking to?
Like
Right.
he's killing people and he's just like, "What are you talking to, bub?"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
to me, I thought it was like time, like I say, like time stops, but it's like fourth wall. So like they don't even
Like Twilight Zone style, where they like
They don't realize what has just happened. He could talk to us for 5 minutes, come to, and they wouldn't have picked up on it. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I got you. It's just one of those.
Instantaneous.
I'd have to see it, I guess.
Yeah, I would too. I mean,
They
plus
both
the-
want it to happen, so
Plus, you're
fingers
integrating
crossed.
their little family-friendly franchise of X-Men with the very hard R-rated Deadpool. Obviously, he's not just going to, sugarcoat everything just to fit this franchise. But if Wolverine showed up in his movie, he could still drop F-bombs, be gory as hell. Him and Wolverine maybe have, like, a little square-off, which I think is everyone's dream. Even if he's in the movie, doesn't even make sense plot-wise. He just shows up and they fight for a minute, make a quick joke, get the hell out of there, plot continues. I'd almost be fine with that.
No, I think it'd be great to have them two be the stars of the movie.
Oh, well, yeah.
That'd be
that'd be the dream. I'm just saying.
That'd be such a good dynamic, I think. Like, the more I'm thinking about it right now, and it's making me kind of excited.
I think it gets a lot of people excited.
I am glad that he was not the star of this trilogy.
Oh, my God. You took words out of my mouth.
His cameo in Apocalypse was fantastic, and that's all you needed, like, in my opinion. Like, they had the others to carry the movie. He didn't need to. And if you saw the end of the credits thing, it set up, I guess, the villain for his movie.
Is it his movie? Do we know that?
That's how I've understood it. The Essex Corps and Mr. Sinister, I've heard, is the
Right.
villain for his movie. Yeah, correct.
Didn't know if it was another X-Men movie, his movie, Deadpool 2, Gambit, don't matter. I mean...
I did not stay for the after credit scene.
Oh, so
I
you
didn't
have no
either.
idea what it was.
I've kind of heard a little bit, but I don't
Okay,
really.
so it starts off, you see, like, there's, like, guys in suits, like, the Alkali Lake where Wolverine killed all those guys.
Mhm.
There's, like, guys in suits, like, picking up all the bullet shells. They're, like, mopping up blood, body bagging all the dead guys. And the guy's carrying a suitcase. He goes over to, like, a cold storage, like, embryo cold storage where there's, like, DNA and stuff. Think, like, Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Okay. And he pulls out this tube, and it says Weapon X. It's got, like, his blood in it. Opens up a suitcase, puts it in next to some others who you don't see. Closes the suitcase, and it says Essex Corp, which is, I guess, a lead to Mr. Sinister,
Yeah, his real name is Nathaniel Essex.
who is
so
a
it's his
90s bad guy. So if you're a 90s fan, obviously you're like, oh my god, Mr. Sinister. And I guess they've already talked about how the next movie will take place in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I
Simon
wonder if
Kinberg
we'll get
came out.
the 90s cast from the cartoon.
Right.
Like the 90s set of mutants.
And like I said, Psylocke got away. So, I hope to God she shows up in something else. I feel like she wouldn't take such a small role with no lines if she wasn't going to get the shot at being in another movie.
She turned down some other movie to do X-Men because she got to do a lot of action in this.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what she turned down, but I was like, huh. But isn't she... What is that underground crew that she runs with? What in...
Is it the Morlocks?
Is that what it is, the Morlocks?
And I hear the Morlocks are supposed to show up in the Gambit movie. Or Marauders? Morlocks?
Yeah.
One of those two?
When are we getting a Gambit movie?
It was scheduled later for this year, like October 2017, but they were supposed to film last year. They've just gone through multiple directors. Channing Tatum's schedule is super booked, you know.
And I don't
Oh,
even-
it's going to be Channing
And I am
Tatum?
Channing Tatum has been cast as Gambit.
As a...
That could be okay.
No.
You don't think so?
Oh,
It's
the
no.
accent,
Oh,
dude.
no.
I think he's got the look.
Does
but
Gambit
if he-
have an accent? I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's from Louisiana, so he's like a Cajun. So he's kind of like, hey,
And
petite.
if there's one thing Channing Tatum probably can't do, it's probably accents.
He has admitted
name's
that's the
Jeff.
hardest part. If you can't do the accent, you can't take the role. That's
Yeah, I
that's my
agree.
opinion.
Sure, yeah, he could.
You
could
cannot
look,
be
he could
Cajun.
look enough like Gambit. He's got the star appeal, but it's the accent. I'm almost fairly certain he probably will not nail for me.
I'm
And
not
I
going
don't
to count him
know.
out.
Yeah, he surprised me before.
Yeah, I'm open for surprises. I love surprises. Surprise me, Channing Tatum. Get the goddamn accent right.
This whole trilogy really leaned on the new Charles Xavier McAvoy, James McAvoy, Magneto, Michael Fassbender, and Mystique, Raven, Darkholm.
And Beast.
Right, Jennifer Lawrence and Nicholas Hoult. Did you like them and what they did? Because I thought it was definitely the trio. Beast was pretty good too. I mean, he just didn't do much. But Xavier, Magneto, fantastic.
I love the new Magneto.
Yeah, he killed it. He always brought the emotion. Like, yes, the emotional punch you needed.
And even going back and watching the original three, I think it's very possible that he would grow up to the Magneto that we saw in the first movies.
Yeah,
Like the
they lined
look,
that
so
up
far
pretty
as the
good.
look.
Definitely.
The look and the feel and the acting, I feel like it's definitely believable.
I like that this Magneto. Well, first off, I didn't like how I don't know. They gave him like a new kid in this third one. Is completely comic book inaccurate. That kind of made me mad. But anyways, I like at the end of this trilogy, he's good terms with Charles. Or at the end of the first trilogy, he was bad, and then he was good in the second one. Well, good, quotation marks. Bad in the third one. Same kind of story, but this one, he ended on a positive note. I like how they separated that. Their friendship, I feel like, was a lot stronger in this one. And that's maybe because we got to see a history of it. But both Charles and both Xavier's are awesome.
I had heard James McAvoy was cast first as Xavier. Matthews Vaughn, I guess, his first choice, or one of his first choices. And to cast the right Magneto, he had McAvoy screen test with every single one of them for chemistry. Now, I don't know how many that was, but I was like, okay. So he was really determined to make sure that carried over well to screen. And Fassbender brought it. And it just launched him to a new place, too.
It did.
Mystique was awesome. I'm not sure.
She was okay.
Like, bad guy in this movie, good guy here, sort of good guy here. I was kind of getting tired of that.
I'm with both of you on this one. I think, first off, Mystique, I hope the next trilogy of X-Men movies, we don't see her. I'll be glad we don't see some Wolverine. I'll be hopefully glad we don't see Mystique.
I'll be glad if we don't see Magneto, because he's been in like 6 movies now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like Mystique's look for some reason. Like, the real dark black and the real dark blue together, just, I don't know, not appealing.
In Apocalypse or like overall?
I actually thought she looked okay, and maybe I just didn't notice, but I thought First Class she kind of looked okay. And then it seemed like the color palette changed a little bit in the next two.
Became like really bright?
No, really dark. Like really dark colors.
Yeah.
Part of that is in First Class, she chose to do makeup. So she sat in the makeup chair for several hours. After that, it became a suit. She didn't want to. Part of coming back as Mystique, she said she didn't want to do the makeup anymore. So in Days of Future Past, it became a bunch of like prosthetic pieces that was filled in with some makeup, like where needed, edging and stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much.
So I guess, it kind of lines up with what you said. But yeah, it did kind of bother me too. It didn't look as organic,
And it was like they just like cut sections out of what's that other movie she did? Hunger Games. It seemed like they just gave her the same lines that they would have given her in Hunger Games. Like, come on, team, we can be strong and we can do this.
I feel like they were like really forcing Mystique on us, and I'm like, I get she's the only like shapeshifter, and you can utilize that in so many ways. But man, she does not need to be all up in our grill, forced upon us, forced into the story like this. It's unnecessary.
Apocalypse made a lot of mention to how Magneto caused that whole big deal, in Days of Future Past, and they completely let Raven off the hook, Mystique off the hook. Like, they're all like, I can't believe Magneto did all that. That's too bad. And Mystique became this idol to mutants, but none of the humans even gave a shit. So she's the bad guy of the second movie, but the good guy in this. And Magneto is just painted as the bad guy the whole time.
Well, she also changed her stance in this one. In Days of Future Past, she was all, no, I'm going to be blue no matter what because mutant lives matter.
Yeah, and she gave up
and
like a wuss.
And in this one, she's like, no, I got tired of doing that because why'd it matter? And it's like, didn't?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
She was real like, I ain't no
quitter. You just 180'd here.
She really did.
She did. But then to the students, she'd always be like, you got to be yourself. It's like, so you're in hiding. Why? What happened to that Mystique? You're just going to be blue no matter what they say, and you're not going to move for someone who wants a front seat on the bus? Come on now. Like,
why are so many mutants blue?
I was kind of wondering that too in Apocalypse. I was like,
so did I. I was like, that is a lot.
Apocalypse himself is blue.
They had a whole conversation about it.
Nightcrawler,
Beast.
I'm blue.
Yeah, and it's
Mystique.
weird how we talked about they don't mention the fact that Mystique is Nightcrawler's mom, but she's the one that goes rescues him. Yeah, weird, right?
Yeah.
And that just might be, we got to give her something to do.
She definitely doesn't look old enough to be his mom.
So if Azazel was red,
and she's blue,
shouldn't Nightcrawler be purple?
Yeah, I think you just might have made a fact right there.
I mean,
genetics, bro, genetics.
Stan Lee, where were you?
Maybe okay, so that's why they're
Where
all
were ya?
blue. That's why they're all blue. It's because the blue gene is dominant.
Yeah, of course.
So all the reds are getting knocked off by the blues.
Right.
Bloods and Crips situation going.
Yeah,
We got some Romeo and Juliet between Azazel and Mystique.
I did like, and it was just maybe like a little one-liner, when they brought Nightcrawler in to fight Angel, they were like, who better to fight an angel but a devil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer one funny one line, but I thought it was really clever. I was like, okay.
Simon Kinberg can be a crisp writer sometimes.
Yeah,
like
he can.
Days of Future Past was solid.
Yeah.
And then this time it's where it got shoddy and lazy and
And they even like referenced how the third one's the worst, referencing not just trilogies in general, but their own past trilogy where number 3 sucks so hard.
that's right.
And this one they make an in joke about it. And like
yeah,
I
they
said,
were seeing
this,
Star Wars, right? Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah, and this one was tonally different from Days of Future Past. Like he listened to us fanboys where we said Days of Future Past didn't have the action in the middle. This one, he made sure to definitely give us the world-ending action, that cataclysmic action that he had promised us. So I was overall a good movie, man. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I saw it twice. Liked it both times.
I'm gonna take you into Quicksilver here in a second. One of the problems that I had was this had an Avengers Age of Ultron problem, which is its villain. It was another villain who was just like, I want to blow up the world because reasons. Well, what do you get from a world that's blown up?
Did you guys?
Yeah, the learning.
Remember when he was like, I don't know, like groping the TV, and Storm's like, "The fuck you doing, bro?"
And he's
like,
yeah. So like Ultron did the same thing. Remember, because him and Jarvis he gets birthed.
Well, I
and then
like
he taps in and learns
Yeah,
everything.
he's on the
like,
internet
"This
for
world
5
sucks.
minutes.
I'm gonna blow it up.
I like the concept of him having, because he does have to learn and adapt to like a whole new.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the line, and I didn't like how he was
See,
molesting
he was,
the TV.
and I think
Had to
overall,
download.
and not that it was Oscar Isaac's fault, but I think he should have been like a scary villain, and no one is willing to go there. You have this almighty villain, yeah, with all these powers. Was he presented scarily? No. He wore some dark hood, and honestly, he looked cooler in that than he did in like his kind of like weird, like his armor. Like I
Yeah.
said, he either should have been bigger, had like a deeper voice.
He was
You
very
know-
inconsistent.
Yeah, he was kind of.
I've
all
got
over the
unlimited
place.
power, except I need horsemen who do like mediocre stuff.
Sometimes I drop one-liners. Sometimes I'm mysterious.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm learning.
I
thought
can turn things instantaneously into dust, but
I'm only gonna
Quicksilver
do that
shows
once.
up and starts kicking my ass.
Yeah.
My only reason. Oh, yeah.
I was like,
that
are they really
awesome.
going to let him just win? Like, is he going to be the one that takes him out just because he's really fast?
I love this. Let's talk about Quicksilver here. Now, Sinners, I know we all love the scene in Days of Future Past, right?
Of course.
Quicksilver's highlight was basically his only highlight in Days of Future Past. That song, Jackman and all there, and he's moving the objects around. And this one, it got a lot more physical. Less of the
It
objects.
got better.
And he sat there and
I thought it was
rescued
pretty good.
so many people. The music was awesome. Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics. Once that started, I was like, oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, dude, that like bass drops and
Immediately
it's like,
sucked
oh,
you
it's
in.
on.
Like,
Okay, visually and like so all around I love those scenes.
Yeah.
They look good, they sound good, they feel good. It's just pleasant.
right.
But how could he listen to the music? I don't think it's physically possible to
I-
speed up music that
I
fast.
kept bringing this up, and nobody wanted to listen to me. Well, he
you
didn't
know,
have
actually, I
he didn't
not-
have headphones going in this one, though, right? It was just
Yeah.
music to the scene, not music that he's running to.
So that makes more
That is
sense.
true.
And
yeah.
that was the problem in Days of Future
Maybe it's what they.
Past.
I think is that their attempt to fix from Days
Because
of
that whole
Future
thing
Past?
took place in less than a second. Obviously, shots were fired,
Bro,
and then
you're
it plays
wearing-
like a minute of a song.
You're
and
wearing
that doesn't even-
'70s, cassette headphones.
There's no
you
way.
think those are staying on? Like,
No, they could. I think they could probably stay on. That's not my qualm. His hats.
They played a minute of a
doesn't-
song in like something that takes a second span
That's
in real
my
life.
that's my problem. You couldn't fast forward it enough.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
it doesn't
get what
even-
you're-
Because
I'm
we'd have to
sorry,
we
yeah.
have to believe that the tape was fast forwarded and he just perceives it at the same speed.
Right. Oh man. Okay, you guys. Just
But I don't think CDs.
guys got
I don't think
freaking real
MP3s
right now.
can speed up that
Right.
fast.
So this one they nixed it, and it starts playing to his scene, but he does not flip
Okay,
headphones
yeah.
on.
You guys definitely dropped. a
But
name.
he
Now,
shows
I,
up,
I have not seen this.
Fucking
I have not
music
thought about
kicks
this.
on, and he looks at the card, and it's like go time. He zips in and saves the day, and sets up I mean, that was one of the best scenes in the movie, if not the best.
Yeah.
He stole the spotlight again.
Single-handedly, man.
And I was kind of worried that they couldn't top it.
And they did.
They proved me wrong, Bryan Singer. I give it to you.
Now we have to say, how are they going to top this scene next time?
Yeah. Well,
90s.
even with the sound problem, still my favorite two scenes in the whole trilogy. He is my favorite mutant in the new trilogy.
You know, it's weird. I saw Days of Future Past, and we obviously knew about there's going to be two Quicksilvers in two different movies. Saw him, and I was like, I didn't really get that he was like an child, right? And that kind of pertains to like his super speed or whatever. Totally got it. And I was like, he was okay. I saw Age of Ultron and I was like, okay, a more badass Quicksilver. That's what I'm talking about. And then this one comes out and I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, damn it, Evan Peters. You might have just topped my Quicksilver list. One, you're not dead.
I was
Saw
a
the
hater.
sequel, what up?
I was a hater when they casted him. I was like,
No.
I was a hater, yeah.
I like the kid, but I was
Did
like,
you ever watch American Horror
Quicksilver?
Story?
What? No, not
The
really.
first season of
but-
American Horror Story, he is the best. He is the best actor in American Horror Story. When I saw that it was him, I knew it was going to be good. He is a great actor.
I was on the hate train, man. I drank the haterade for this kid. And
I was
had
like,
seen,
Aaron Taylor Johnson will literally blow you away.
Yeah, I had seen Kick-Ass with both Quicksilvers. And then he was in that one MMA movie with like him.
Yeah, Never Back Down.
Right. And so I had seen some things, and I guess I just wasn't totally on board with how they were presenting Quicksilver. And then obviously the movie came out.
Hate my words.
Yeah.
So, is Scarlet Witch Magneto's daughter?
Yes.
So is that who we saw
In
this
Days of Future Past?
Yeah. No.
Well,
Was that
remember
the-
he had his little
You mean
sister.
in Apocalypse.
that happened in Apocalypse.
Well, he had a little sister in Days of Future Past, right?
Who?
Who?
Quicksilver.
He was the only kid. He didn't have a sister.
He had a mom.
Yeah, what are you
But
talking
didn't
about?
he have a little sister? I thought, and that she was like there playing upstairs or something when they like came or something like that. Was there no little girl in Days of Future Past?
I don't
I didn't think so
remember.
because the mom shows up. She's like, "What'd he steal?" And they're like, "We just want to talk to him." And she's like, "Peter,"
Okay.
or whatever. And
okay,
then,
you're right.
And then it zooms in and like
Right.
a track on the
Okay,
map.
so if let's say presumably, I don't remember her name in Apocalypse, but she doesn't have the right powers. Well, I guess not. We don't know if Scarlet Witch can really control
Oh.
birds, but she doesn't have the right name either.
That's right. Yeah.
And they'd be half step brother and sister
They'd
if
be-
this
yeah.
were to be.
They're still
be half.
they're still related.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not knocking that, but
So she had a different name.
that's
though.
why I was
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't
okay,
Wanda.
you give him a daughter, but change her name and her powers. When you could have easily just been like, it's Wanda.
Well, it's a licensing thing. Like
No, I agree.
They killed Quicksilver so that X-Men could take him and run with them, and then they kept Wanda.
And
so
they-
I get it, but
Well, it's just like they found the loophole with the father thing. Make Quicksilver realize it's his dad, but don't address Magneto, Don't let him address it there. So the audience knows. Because,
Yeah.
right, we hear it. But then, at the end he's like, I'm here for my family too.
that was dumb. He didn't tell him.
I'd be like,
That
Magneto's
was
like,
fucking dumb.
oh, is Xavier your uncle? No, I was. I mean, it don't matter, Magneto. Like, I'm gonna take you down. Like, what family you here for, bro?
I don't know. They could have like ended shit like 20 minutes earlier.
I didn't like how he didn't tell him.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
That's like his whole motivation of the whole movie. That's literally the one thing he's like trying
Yeah.
to do, and then he's like, "I'm too much of a wuss to tell him. I'll tell him later."
what is it cliche that he didn't tell him, or would it have been more cliche if he did?
I don't think it matters. I think
I
the only
agree.
thing that matters is what's best for
Yeah,
the story.
I agree, and that's the perfect answer. I'm so glad you said that because I didn't want to have to argue with you and be like, no, wrong. Neither of them matter.
yeah.
He should have known. That's life.
Yeah.
He literally, like, if he's like, "I accomplished everything I set out to do," he cannot check that box because he did not tell Magneto.
Yeah,
That box
sometimes
is unchecked.
sometimes cliches are cliche for a reason.
Guess your story arc didn't get completed.
Had a good day, defeated Apocalypse, but didn't tell my dad he's my dad.
So do you guys want to see more Quicksilver in X-Men movies to come?
I have heard that
Absolutely.
he will be a staple.
I
Like,
think,
we will
I
see
think
him,
he's pretty
yes.
locked in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about that.
Oh yeah.
The ending of the movie, when you see the final 5 team consisting of Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, and Quicksilver, and I guess Mystique is there, and Beast. But we're talking about, who they present kind of as their new recruits.
new core,
They're
yeah.
all wearing comic book accurate costumes.
Finally.
Awesome, yeah, finally. Well, Weapon X, I guess, was pretty comic book accurate. But, for the first time we're seeing other main characters in comic book accurate costumes. It was awesome. And then we see them get presented with Sentinels from Days of Future Past, right? The first ones.
Yeah.
And you instantly know you're in what is the war room, right? They're
I think
training.
it's a danger room, isn't it?
Is that what's called? The danger room? You might be right. Danger room, war room, training room is, I think, the overall
You got a
generic
glimpse
title.
of it in The Last Stand.
That's
They
right.
just didn't.
Well, they also
oh.
fought a Sentinel that looked more like the 90s cartoon Sentinel. But that's another complaint for another time. Loved it. Loved it. I didn't care for Mystique's speech. Love her white dress costume, though. totally awesome. Bryan Singer came back and nailed it.
Yeah, I agree. That was a good scene. I was really excited, and like I said, the team going forward is going to do awesome things.
I agree.
Yeah.
So who do you want to see in the next movie?
Oh, man.
I want
If
to
you
see.
had to pick from who we've seen right now, and maybe if you want to throw in people we haven't seen, you can.
I want to see. I want to see the 5 that we talked about: Cyclops, Quicksilver, Jean, Storm, and whoever I'm missing. That's the Nightcrawler.
So you wanna see the 5 we got
I want to see the
presented.
5 we saw. I don't
Right.
want Mystique. I
Mystique's
guess we
out.
need Professor X. So maybe if we had James McAvoy for like one more, that'd be cool. I don't know how you'd
Yeah,
go on
I'd be fine
without
with
him.
McAvoy for one. Because he really didn't get a good story arc in this one. Up until Apocalypse kidnapped him, wanting to give Moira McTaggart her memories back after you chose to take him away, what are you, like, you're creeping on her. You know, like that. I feel like they were just like, well, we got to give him something
on,
to do.
Charles.
And all she did was just discover Apocalypse. Tells them, set the whole fight out. I'm hiding the plane. Oh, I'm hiding here and look sad. But that's another talk for another time. I hope, we get another shot at the Juggernaut. Going back to our previous conversation.
Juggernaut.
I thought he looked terrible in the third movie.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I hope we get a better shot at another shot, a better shot.
Okay.
Who do you want to see in the going forward?
I agree. You're not quite the comic book fan. I think Nick and I are. So who do you
It's
hope?
not that
to?
I'm not a fan. It's
No,
just that,
yeah. Badly worded.
Yeah. No, definitely Storm. I definitely want to see more of Storm, Nightcrawler, Quicksilver. I don't really love Cyclops.
Let's
I like
say
the
someone
new.
Nick didn't say, Tyler. Can you just think for yourself? Think freely, please. Just
As
kidding.
long as Rogue doesn't come back, I'm good. I really hate Rogue.
boss status.
Beast is okay. Beast is pretty cool. I could deal with him some more.
I loved Beast was in this whole trilogy.
Yeah.
We missed him the whole first 2 movies, and the third one, Kelsey Grammer did a good job. But I was like, yes. Even though Beast's look changed in all 3 movies, he went from the cat-like to...
I am waiting for his more comic book suave appearance. Like Kelsey Grammer's was okay for like the long like professor look. That's my only complaint with Beast. I love his character, love what he's doing. I just wish they tamed the look a little more. You know?
Yeah. And Nicholas Hoult did an awesome job.
Mm-hmm.
I can't complain with that. But I totally loved seeing Beast there.
He's one of the few that like seems really excited to be like, well, and the new guys that like is excited about what he's doing in that universe. Jennifer Lawrence just looked like she was kind of there just, my contract says I have to be here now. Like she just looked dull like all during Apocalypse.
Like I said, I feel like they just like force her into the script because she's an A-lister, obviously a name drawn to the franchise. And because
Well, she's won
obviously
Academy Awards between this and First Class too.
Right,
so.
you got Fassbender, McAvoy, and all these award winners. They want to keep those. They're what presumably bring in the money. But I hope we get another shot at Angel, a third shot at Angel.
I can't remember what happened to him at the end of.
He crashed in the
Apocalypse.
plane when him and Psylocke boarded the plane, and Nightcrawler teleports them all out. Remember, Angel went down with the plane.
So did he die?
Yeah, 'cause remember Cyclops or Apocalypse was like useless.
I didn't think
And Storm's like, he doesn't care about us. I'm gonna hide in a corner and then fry him later. I'm thunder.
I didn't think.
With my thunder.
Man, I guess he did die.
Yeah, he wasn't at the end.
I just. Well.
Magneto and Storm went with Xavier. Psylocke ran and hid.
Do you have a problem with the actor, or are you okay with the actor coming back and
I'm
just
fine with the actor.
giving him more story?
I like Angel the character, and the actor I can't complain about because he's just doing what the script was.
Yeah. I just want him to
he
do
was
more.
just okay. I'm fine with the cage fighting. His wing barely even burnt. Man, suck it up. Throw a fucking Band-Aid on it. Throw some duct tape and go fly. Quit being a bitch ass.
Some duct tape.
Instead, he was like
Put
sitting
some
up there,
duct tape on your wings.
rocking it. Hey, 1,001 uses for it. Case if it can work on feathers. And then
Probably
he's sitting
duct
there
tape
up there
feathers,
in like the high rise, drinking to whatever song that was. They show up and he's like, "You piss off, you wankers!" And then throws his bottle at them, right at his feet, and they all like break, and they're like, "The hell?" Oh yeah, no, he's pissing and moaning because he got his
What's he
wing
being a
burned.
drunkie for? Is he sitting in a bottle?
He's sitting there, yeah, he's sitting there like pissing and moaning over his wing because he like flies down, like whatever. Fuck you guys, I don't do anything no more. And then this is what really got me. This is where I was really weirded out. Apocalypse does this cool scene where the stuff starts coming out of his ribs. It's metal. Your wings were metal. What metal's inside you? Where does this metal come from? You notice that?
Why didn't he just turn his bones metal?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should have just made the wings metal, but instead they came out of his like ribs. Remember, and they like
But
grabbed
he,
his
he
wings.
could probably
and, like,
materialize things on a molecular level.
Yeah,
he
I
is
just-
like destroying things at a molecular level
then
and turning
he
it into
should have,
like sand.
touched him,
You know,
gave
I
him
don't
the
know if it's
armor,
sand.
and it should have like panned back, shown the wings turn the metal instead of coming out of his ribs. That just threw me
he
off.
grew another set of wings.
Oh, but
he
then they turned metal.
right. Yeah, he had
Okay,
the
I
big
mean, I
wings on
guess.
his back, and then the other ones was
Yeah,
like
I mean, I guess the seam is
an
kind of dark. I
insect.
might have just looked at that wrong. I just thought coming out of his ribs in general was not the right way to go about it.
I thought that was kind of cool.
It was cool. It was awesome to see. I'm just saying it almost made no sense. You know, like someone could be like, why is Mark Ruffalo turn green? There's no green in his body. Red blood cells, white blood cells. Why aren't you red or white?
that's not how blood cells work.
No.
Blood cells aren't red
I'm
until they
saying
get
there's
exposed
no
to
green.
oxygen.
There's
right?
nothing green in his body. You have red and white shit in your body, bone, blood, whatever.
Right, I got you.
Why are you turning green, bro? Green is not
I think
anger.
you're drawing the line at some weird places in a in a universe full of mutants, man. A lot of things in X-Men don't make
Okay,
sense.
yeah, all right. Sorry, I'm getting hyper realistic.
Yeah, you're,
Sorry, sinners.
you
I
know.
don't mean to be a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy.
But he wasn't too worried about his ribs.
Yeah,
He was just like, cool
He,
wings.
he's rocking like
bro.
some like sweet blonde Jerry curl, and then he's like, "Storm, damn, you look sexy with that mohawk." Apocalypse, can you you think you can take care
Do
of
me up one here.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, I just hate how they make it seem like being a mutant is such a bad thing. Like it seems like even the ones that can hide it, it's like, oh, I'm a mutant, poor me. Like if I could manipulate fire and like turn things to ice and like turn invisible and go through walls,
Great, you're a bad guy.
I could hide it really easy and I would enjoy it and just
If I could,
I
have
would
a
love to have
lethal optic
superpowers.
beam come out my
Yeah.
eyes that allowed me to wear sunglasses all day. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
everyone's.
No, I don't think I
No
would
one
want
sits
that.
there and think. Everyone just thinks about. Oh man, if I had powers, everyone would hate me. No man, if you had powers, unless you're like Beast 24/7, you can't hide it. Yeah, man, you got a problem. But
We're scared.
everyone else, like you said, you don't have some physical deformity showing your powers. Yeah, like I don't get why you just don't make an effort to hide. You don't use your powers, they don't know.
even Mystique, oh no, I'm not naturally beautiful. Like you can be anyone.
Yeah, you could be, you know, Beyonce. You could be a buff dude.
I shouldn't have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could do whatever you want.
I think there's bigger problems than like who you want to look like. You know, come on now,
I
Mystique.
agree.
So you can be awesome in blue, or you can be a sexy lady, or some dude, and you know.
You can change anything about you. You could give yourself a penis. Whatever you want. And you're sitting there like unhappy with yourself.
Well,
But yet she still chooses just to be her normal self instead of like
in the first X-Men movie, they're talking about Mystique when they enter, I think, the Statue of Liberty, and they're like, "Oh my God, can she do something?" And it's like, "No, it has to be similar in size."
Size and
but then
mass.
she, in Days of Future Past, they completely ignore it, and you never see her do it other than like her finger or her eye.
Oh.
She turns into Bolivar Trask, who's a a midget, or like whatever the correct vernacular is.
right. Look,
The
sorry,
dwarf-
Peter Dinklage. We are actually big fans.
Yeah.
Love you on Game of Thrones. Go Tyrion.
House
She turns
Lannister.
into someone very short.
Right, so it's like she breaks that code all up and down in that movie.
I think that was because when Bryan Singer was like, I love Peter Dinklage. I love Game of Thrones. He's going to be in my movie.
Yeah.
And so I think they were like, well, we're just, we're going to overlook.
We're
Look,
not
that
going to
movie.
show how she decreases her bone structure and organ structure and grows a dick.
It's been 15 years since
Penis.
that line was said. I think people forgot. They're going to overlook that now. That's why I think
didn't.
I think they were just willing to overlook that to fit in Peter Dinklage.
Lazy script writing, as I call it.
I agree. Lazy storytelling.
Simon
I
Kinberg.
completely agree. Like I said, I'm one of the picky fanboys. You know, maybe not as picky as some of you fanboys out there, sinners.
I don't think I'm very picky. I think a movie's a complete different medium, and I think you should be able to have a lot more creative liberties. Because if I want the comic experience, I'm going to go read the comic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
I mean,
I agree.
I like taking elements from different storylines and mixing them together, as long as it's still cohesive. You know, as long as you can't really see the cracks.
Right. And whatever cracks we can see, I'm willing to look past a lot. You know,
Well,
like
X-Men has not been cohesive, though.
no,
True.
you're right.
True.
And as much I say picky flaw stuff as this one had, I'm willing to overlook a lot of it because I really liked this movie. I liked how they incorporated McAvoy's Charles Xavier becoming bald into the plot.
That was cool.
I thought, Apocalypse is trying to transfer his essence into McAvoy, and as it starts, he's bald, right?
Yeah.
So it takes away McAvoy's hair, and I was like, oh, that makes so much.
Does it
so
kill
much
the
sense.
Does it kill the hair follicles, or can the hair grow back?
Was
it like a version
I
of
think
chemo?
we're
Is
to
it not coming
assume
back?
that it probably kills the hair
Yeah,
follicles.
it's probably muted. Yeah.
Because the original the old Apocalypse guy was bald. Poe Dameron, as not Poe Dameron, the new Apocalypse was bald.
And Sabanur.
Yeah. And all the ancient Egyptian stuff,
That was
was
cool.
really cool.
I was into it.
I thought it was neat.
Awesome way to. Brian Singer can definitely, I feel like, open up an X-Men movie. Days of Future Past, that opening.
Oh man.
Oh man, dude.
I cried in theaters.
Yeah, me and my son were like sitting on the edge of our seat in theaters, and I was like, they're dead already?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, okay, I see what you did there.
I was
Touche.
hooked.
Yeah.
Well, who in Egypt was in charge of the blueprints? Because that came down surprisingly easy. That pyramid.
I like how they have this emergency, destroy every pyramid
In
here
case we
plan.
need to take it down in an instant.
But
We've got
aren't
plans.
pyramids by definition really sturdy? Really sturdy structures.
Yeah.
They're really bottom heavy.
Right.
Who messed that up? Who said, "All right, we're going to build a
They don't
pyramid
have-
like this
they
on
don't
these
have
these
giant
pillars"?
pillars and stuff, right? Well, you got to assume these pillars are probably made. Apocalypse probably oversaw the building of these, so they're probably not the same pyramids we know and love today.
Love those pyramids.
To be honest, I wish they had gone a little farther back with Apocalypse. Where did it start? The first incarnation. Instead, you start off. Oh,
one just dies. and
here's
we
like a
get that
used
one.
up old
I didn't think about that.
dish
yeah.
rag Apocalypse becoming the new young.
We no longer want him vintage. We want him.
Yeah, you've had.
refreshed.
Here's the old bull. You're about to experience the young calf. Where was the old bull as a baby?
Yeah,
I want to see.
I want to know how long he was around because it's obvious. It's a while. He's old as shit.
Yeah, and that's period. Pyramid times was how long before it picks up, and that he's been around how long before the pyramid times. I really wish they had gone farther back, but that's honestly something I can look past. It just would have been interesting.
What
Maybe
do
a
you
prequel
want?
comic.
Do you want him to go all the way back to the Big Bang?
I want to see the first one.
Well,
Well-
they're calling it an origin story, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, kind of.
It's more
but
of
not
like
really.
the event right before this happened, and I totally get that. You can't spend a whole movie talking about the origin of the bad guy, or can you?
Ooh. Listen up,
Sinners,
Hollywood.
Sinners, what do you think? Comment on that. Can you just have the whole movie about the origin of a bad guy?
Watch out, Hollywood. We're coming.
If it's already happened, tell me, or Nick, or Tyler, any one of us.
If it hasn't already happened, don't mention this to anyone because we're going to do it.
I'm serious. I'm gonna do it. Don't take my idea. I will find you,
He will, and will help.
and I'll spend my whole time learning where you live.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah.
When I heard that line, I instantly thought, I'm going to see 1,000 memes. Memes?
Memes.
I'm sorry, not memes. Memes. I'm going to see 1,000 memes with this image and some dumb line at the top of the picture, and then behind it, at the bottom's going to be, learning. I just thought, okay, this is going to get around the social media. Everyone's going to be hating on this movie now.
It will on DVD release. When they can actually do a lot more of that.
Do you guys know how critics received the movie?
It is mixed.
It is mixed. It's a lot more mixed than Days of Future Past was.
Probably more than the first two at all. I mean, both of those were pretty well received, I think.
But one can argue it's not affecting its box office because it beat Disney's Alice in Wonderland 2. It tanked it.
Well, that was a turd to begin with.
I don't know. It did beat it,
And
but I don't know that it was much. I didn't think it was going to stand up anyways.
I didn't think so either. And even without Tim Burton being attached to it or not, as a producer or director, I don't care. I was like, I think the first one was it was quick to pick up the 3D. It had Tim Burton, and everyone just jumped on it.
Yeah,
And I think
the Disney
maybe,
cash
even though it's
cow.
only been, 6 years? I think maybe this time for a sequel came and went.
Well, what do you guys think of Charles Xavier's School for Baby Mutants that Tim Burton's directing?
Oh,
Miss Peregrine's
Yeah.
School
Oh.
for the Gifted. Or
It's not-
is that what that's called?
School for
It's
Peculiar
not
Children.
X-Men Daycare?
Yeah, that's so weird.
I
X-Men
haven't seen a
Daycare
trailer
The
for it.
Future's
Is
Past?
it that bad?
I don't think it looks good.
I I probably won't go see it.
I won't.
As
go
much
see
as I
it.
love Tim Burton, I'll wait.
Unless
for the
Sinners,
DVD.
unless you really want us to go see it.
It's
you
a
know,
book
let
franchise,
us
right?
know.
So Sinners, if you're familiar with the book franchise and you tell us it's the best thing ever, I might take a shot at it.
It just feels like X-Men again.
Like I said, we're movie buds.
In the
you know?
same way Avatar was Pocahontas, this new movie's going to be X-Men.
I'm a movie guy. You know, if people tell me it's good, if I hear good reviews, I might go see it. Maybe my kid will like it. I'm a Tim Burton fan now, so hard to steer me away unless you just completely make something that sucks like Beetlejuice.
I kind of
2.
feel the same way about Tim Burton that I feel about Eminem. Like, when he was good, he was one of the greatest.
Absolutely.
And now, you know, I could
Tim Burton
leave him.
Tim Burton
I'm
and
not gonna
Johnny
take
Depp
him.
are both Disney's
They-
kind of
yeah,
sell out.
They've sold out their originality. For,
Like JD has tanked like 3 or 4 times now in a row. Like
Well, you know what Johnny Depp's going to be in next, right?
jail.
No, that Kevin Smith movie.
yeah,
Yoga-
he has
Yoga
appearance in
Hosers?
Yoga Hosers,
Which I heard is equally as.
It looks crazy. It looks terrible. I don't know. Maybe it's not bad. I'll definitely see it. You know, I got faith in Kevin
Johnny
Smith a
Depp's
little bit.
also in. Oh no, he's not in the Mummy movie, is he? Is he going to show up in the Mummy?
I don't think he's
First
well,
off, he's playing the Invisible Man
right.
in the upcoming Universal Monsters movie universe, which is awesome.
What's that?
You know all those
They're old school.
the Wolfman, Dracula, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bride of Frankenstein.
Ooh,
Van
they're
Helsing.
redoing those?
They have a
Jekyll
whole
and Hyde.
universe of it now.
No
First,
way.
yeah, it's starting with the Mummy next year with Tom Cruise,
So that's not a continuation on...
Dracula Untold and stuff. No,
No, I'm talking about...
Brendan Fraser.
yeah, The Mummy. Yeah.
No,
It's a total reboot.
and
of
to
all.
me, the only two that exist in that universe are the first two because
The third one was so bad.
oh my god,
I
it one
wish they
time
would
and I
make
wanted to
another one
cry.
so we could watch so we could watch it and talk about it because I love The Mummy. We
I
might
l-
still do a throwback episode.
I was glad Brendan Fraser came back because that's arguably his best work.
So he came back for what?
The third movie
Oh.
because
I thought you said he's gonna. I thought you
Rachel-
were saying he's gonna be in the new
no,
Mummy.
Rachel Weisz did not come back for the third Mummy, and I think that was smart on. She said because she was having a baby and wanted to spend time with her family, but I think she was like, "This is gonna suck." You got abominable snowmen.
Is that what it was about? I didn't make it past
you
the
didn't?
first.
Oh no, they have like he
15
like controls
minutes.
like some crazy ass yetis, and he turns into like a dragon. It's
Man,
really
I don't
weird.
remember any-
Yeah,
I've only
it's-
saw it in
It
theaters.
is far out. It was not,
Not
good
in
at
a good
all.
way.
No, but the new Mummy is not with Brendan Fraser. Tom Cruise, Russell Crowe is going to play Dr. Jekyll / Mr. Hyde. Johnny Depp is our invisible man. I think this is going to be awesome. I am
It's gonna lead
so
up to
looking-
another like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen type situation.
That'd be cool.
I imagine it'll lead up to.
Did you
a
guys
Van
like that
Helsing
movie?
Yeah, Van Helsing
around.
situation.
Did you guys like Van Helsing?
Jackman's?
Oh yeah.
I
He
love
directed The Mummy. That's the same guy.
Really?
Brendan
I
Bren-
liked
Brendan
Van
Fraser's the
Helsing.
Mummy. I loved Hugh Jackman's Van Helsing, and I know it didn't do good at the time, but Wolfman, Dracula, all that stuff. One, I love that stuff. Two, Jackman is the man, and I
Yeah.
believe that was right after X-Men 2 came out.
I think so.
And he got, it got a bad rap, but I loved the movie.
I
I
thought
thought
it
it
was
was
really
really well done.
Yeah.
What about League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I liked it less. I'll say,
I
I'll
kind
say
of liked
that.
it a little bit. I think it might have been because I was a kid when I saw it.
Have you seen it recently?
No.
Watch it again. It might be a little different. I watched it recently, actually, and I liked it. It's got some cool stuff in it. Cool cast of characters. Cool look. I like that. Like,
Definitely an interesting concept.
yes.
Well, it's based off of a graphic novel by Alan Moore,
Who wrote Watchmen?
and it differs very greatly, and a lot of people were not happy about. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
you know,
Poor
Watchmen-
adaptation, but I thought the movie was all right.
So as a standalone though,
Retired Sean Connery. I mean, it was
yeah,
that bad.
that's his last movie.
That bad. Sean
And he
Connery.
didn't even promote it because I think
really
he had
like Sean
issues with the
Connery.
studio. So his last movie, which was supposed to be this awesome action epic, he didn't even go out and promote. Like, he didn't do interviews about it and stuff. Didn't go to the red carpet premieres. He chose not to take part in it.
I loved the ensemble. Some of the characters were pretty cool. I don't know too much about Nemo or anything, but I thought Stuart Townsend as Dorian Gray was cool.
Yeah.
Tom, what was it? Was it Tom Sawyer? Was he the guy in that, or Huck Finn? Who
Yeah,
was the
Tom Sawyer-
sharpshooter?
Shane West.
Yeah,
Tom
I like
Sawyer.
Shane West, but I don't think Tom Sawyer's in the novel.
I
The
don't
graphic
know.
novel. I don't know for sure. I could be wrong.
not
Sinners,
sure.
help me out. But
like Jason Fleming as Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Azazel in X-Men First Class.
okay.
Um,
Good segue.
So think of it, you should check out Leave Extraordinary
Dracula
Gentlemen.
played the bad guy in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Moriarty.
Okay.
The guy played Dracula, who was awesome in that, but sucked as Moriarty. He was like Van
Yeah.
Helsing, and then he was all he was.
Oh yeah,
He was
Yeah.
Moriarty and those are the only two movies I've seen him in. Those two Steven Summers movies.
No, he's in one of the Mission Impossibles.
Oh really?
The Dracula guy?
Oh
Yeah,
okay.
number 1 or 2.
I think it's 2 because I've seen 1.
Oh, 1 has the guy that was supposed to be... No, number 2 has the guy that was supposed to be Wolverine, right? Doug Ray Scott?
That must be number 2. Yeah.
He was cast as Wolverine in the first X-Men and
I
had
could
to
never
drop
picture
out.
a different Wolverine.
He dropped out because he had to do reshoots on the whatever Mission Impossible movie he was doing. So Jackman, who was like this Australian like theater actor who had done some TV stuff, maybe a few Australian movies, gets cast as his first American leading role as Wolverine, sets his career on fire, man. He is set for life. Everyone loved it.
I thought it was cool because he's what like you could call a superhero for lifer. Like,
Yeah.
Has literally his whole like screen time, like
17 years playing the
And
same
that's awesome.
guy.
Good for him, dude.
That is awesome. Whether it's about money or not, I
And he-
like to think
And even
he's-
though he had some suck movies,
Yeah.
everyone still liked him.
Yeah,
which was
honestly,
awesome. He
that's-
conquered it.
Right.
Reynolds didn't even get, Green Lantern didn't even get that chance, rightfully so. But
But Ryan Reynolds has had good movies since then. Did you ever see The Voices?
I have not seen that. No.
I think it was called The Voices or something. He plays this crazy guy. He works at like a factory and he really likes this chick, kind of like stalkerish almost. And then like, it's kind of hard to explain, but when you see him in his apartment, it's like from two different points of view. You see his point of view and like the apartment's all neat and tidy and like his pets talk to him and like he's just super Looney Tune. And then like when you see what his house really looks like is like there's blood and bodies everywhere and he's just like he ends up like putting these people's heads in the fridge and like the heads talk to him and it's an amazing
Right.
movie.
Sounds like something Deadpool would do.
It's
Deadpool-
really, really good. I really like Ryan Reynolds though.
Deadpool is the movie, the hit he needed. Because he was kind of Johnny Depping for a while, kind of producing out some okay stuff with
Who-
some hits and misses.
Who owns the rights to Deadpool?
Fox. So, same as X-Men.
So they could cross over potentially?
Yes, like I said, the only barriers are hard R rating, family friendly PG-13. There's the fourth wall break. Also, you're looking at what's going on while Deadpool's going on.
Because none of the
Because
X-Men
no
acknowledge
one was at
what
the
going
mansion
on.
when Colossus and them were there. So you got to be like, and I guess they don't have to address that, but I'm one of those guys that's like, I would like an answer, If you could just throw me a one-liner, like,
So if anyone could cross over, it'd have to be Wolverine.
probably. If anyone wants to cross,
Could
that
anyone
medium.
come with him, you think?
I would like Gambit. I'd like
Cable?
to see, but
Gambit?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Well, who
I don't know
guess
that
will-
Gambit would. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not 100% familiar with all this stuff. But I would like to see
Well,
it.
for the X-Men,
they
there's
did
still
Colossus, so I mean, that's just hope for people.
the crossover that I keep hearing for X-Men, or that kind of is making the go round, Fantastic Four. But
God,
the
I hope
problem
not.
is that the
Fantastic Four is
X-Men
awful.
have never acknowledged a superhero team operating out of New York.
Right.
And the Fantastic Four, how do you explain, like, to the X-Men universe, it'd be like, these 4 mutants showed up, and they'd be like, we are not mutants. We just kind of got cosmically fucked up. And they'd
Yeah.
be like, so mutants from space. And they're like, no, not at all. We're
Well,
humans.
is Deadpool a mutant to begin with? Because it seemed like he
Yeah,
was just
he
a
had-
human that got.
Yeah, he's part of the Weapon X program.
So, but Hugh Jackman was still a
He-
mutant before
he
he,
had a
was
mutant-
part of the
Yeah, Deadpool in the movie did not have.
a mutation.
They just said everyone.
just experimented on him.
Everyone's got genes that can. They kind of made it as like a DNA thing. Like, we're gonna bring out your mutant gene. But they're also implying that it's like The Walking Dead, where it's just dormant inside you.
Kind of.
And so, intense stress and that stuff will bring it out. Like Gina Serrano became strong, all this stuff. But it's like, do you know? Oh, I guess he says, if not, you'll die.
Because of cancer.
So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they gave him Wolverine's healing factor in the comics, I thought. It just didn't help with his face because they're like always this skin or the cells or whatever like always dying or something. And
Yeah,
so,
they're
like,
always.
it can't.
I think and
like
the
a
cells are always
permanent-
dying, but they're always getting regenerated, so it's not gonna.
So, then that would be a good crossover if they both have healing powers.
Yeah, which would make for an intense fight. You saw Deadpool?
I don't think
Dude,
they
he
should
broke
fight
his
each other.
freaking hand off and he grew back.
I don't think they should fight each other.
I'm just saying I think people would be like,
I don't think we need another Versus movie so quick.
No. I'm saying one little clash in the movie, like anything. I think people would want to see like, or even them like square off, look like they're gonna fight.
Almost like a Thor and Hulk situation, like Deadpool's running his mouth and Wolverine kind of puts him in his place for a second.
That'd be cool.
I'm sure they fought in the comics, so if they fought, that'd be cool.
Wolverine's gonna be like, stick that sword up your ass, bub. Like, I'll turn you into a fucking kebab.
Yeah, you just need like a one-time conflict between them. That'd be cool. Just showcasing. Just like Cap and Iron Man are only gonna fight in one movie, but the whole movie.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be my thing.
So, the whole trilogy, Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, First Class. Does Days of Future Past take the top for everybody as the best one?
Yeah.
Days of Future Past, I think for me it might take the top of the entire X-Men franchise.
Right. So then, do you think New Class is better than Apocalypse for you? Would you rank it Days of Future Past, First Class, Apocalypse? Or how would you rank it?
Oh, no. For this trilogy, it'd be Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, then First Class, but all very, very close to each other. There is no...
solid.
Like, the first trilogy, X-Men 2, right into that's X-Men 1. So far below that, I can't freaking see it no more, is X-Men 3, right?
Dead and buried.
She just got, like, visioned through all 18 floors, like in Civil War.
Yeah.
But if we're going to put all 6 X-Men movies in line, Tyler, do you want to start? Tyler, do you have an order?
I don't have a strong preference. Definitely 3's at the bottom. I think
That's like Universal.
Right.
I think maybe the 3 new ones might be at the top for me. I'm going Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, First Class, 2, 1, 3, I guess. I don't know. They're all so close. X-Men is X-Men to me. I don't really...
Yeah, and sadly, I think it's just a reflection of the times as to why this whole trilogy is better than... almost better than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely number 2 is the highlight of the first trilogy. But number 1 is, to me, is always gonna have a place in my heart because it's the OG, man.
It started the modern superhero movie trend.
I think
That
so.
and then Spider-Man right after that, and they both just like people were like, "Wow, these make money. These can be awesome."
And you had it as like, yeah, they're both real world, but Spider-Man took a very comic book accurate approach to it. X-Men chose to go with the unified flight suit, dumb uniforms they had for 17 years. But yeah, no, I look forward to seeing what they're doing, man.
Yeah.
You're taking my money, so
Yeah, I like them. They're definitely not at the top of my superhero movies, but
I think they get, overshadowed a lot. Like, I feel like this didn't have near the hype as Batman vs. Superman or Captain America Civil War, despite all 3 of them being like the high point of their comic book counterparts.
Mm-hmm.
Civil War, huge thing in the comics, right?
yeah.
Batman vs. Superman, them fighting in the Doomsday thing, huge point in the comics. Apocalypse is the X-Men's Joker to Batman, And I feel like it just didn't get the hype, but I'm glad it's doing really well.
So
I said, I want to see more, so.
So what's your guys' order? Did you already give it?
Mine is the exact same as yours.
Really?
Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, First Class, 2, 1, Last Stand. That I'm embarrassed to.
Wow, so we landed at the exact same spot.
Mine's slightly different. Mine, Days of Future Past, X-Men 2, Apocalypse, First Class, 1, 3. But like I said, 1 and up, they're all really close together. Don't think 1 is near 3 because 3 is like in hell compared to.
I will give First Class its round of applause because it is the only X-Men movie to not draw from the comics. Like it is an original idea. Like
Right.
they didn't.
But
they
also
didn't take like a theme of the comics and
Right.
and put that in. It was totally original, which was cool.
And it chose to make
basically.
a true historic event a major plot line where
the Cuban
Days of
Missile
Future
Crisis,
Past talks about a major event as like spark for the plot line. First Class incorporated it into the plot line, and Apocalypse was obviously its own entity.
So the main event, what do you give Apocalypse?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna say probably an 8.5. like I said, I'm willing to overlook the stuff because we got a lot of stuff in return. A lot of fan reciprocation. I feel like he took a lot of that into heart this time. So I feel like it's gonna get an 8.5 from you guys.
I think I'm gonna step a little bit lower than you. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Well, that's good because I'm going to fit right in between you guys and give it an 8. Definitely solid film. Definitely go see it. Definitely loved it. But yeah, I was able to nitpick enough to keep it out on the top, the number 10 range.
Like I said, the main thing for me is his villain problem. It's just you're overlooking. You have this almighty guy who couldn't use the full extent of his powers, but he wanted to make everyone else super strong, and he needed to be protected, but it didn't really make sense. Overall, like I said, I'm willing to look at a lot. They gave us a lot this time. Really, really enjoyed it.
Anything else?
I mean, I think you guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Okay, so Sinners, tell us what you think about X-Men Apocalypse.
What do you want to see with the rest of the X-Men universe?
Right.
Where do you think they're going to go from here? Where do you want them to go from here?
Bad guys that you think they would use. Honestly, I can't think of anything other than Mr. Sinister, but for you hardcore X-Men fans out there, let us know what you think should, maybe where they should go, what direction they should steer their franchise in. Make sure to rate,
share, subscribe. Definitely iTunes helps us out. We need ratings. We need reviews. We need visibility. We need word of mouth.
Support us any way you can. If you got friends that are like, hey man, I'm looking for an awesome movie podcast, preferably with a pun in the title, and you can be like, oh my god, there's the Cinamen podcast.
Yeah,
and
it's nothing about Cinamen.
And it's exactly what you're looking for. And I guarantee they're going to be blown away. So
yeah. So if you know anyone that likes movies and they like hearing people talk about movies, we like talking about movies.
We're those guys we described.
Yeah.
We're those guys they're looking for.
We are those guys.
So I guess if overall, if you're going to take away one thing from this awesome conversation, is to just not be a dick.
Support the podcast.
So best advice I can give you, Nick, is don't fuck it up.
Or do, man.
Or do. We can always redo it. Just more work for Justin.